And Lindsay, yeah, Lindsay's a very experimental, very clever. His technique has improved so much over the years. He used to be quite shy, in fact. He used to be quite withdrawn. Now, I mean, over the last couple of years, he's really sort of started to come out of himself, and indeed he's becoming a really, really good producer. He's showing a great leaning towards that.
I think he plays the recording studio almost as well as he plays the guitar. I mean, I've never seen anyone.
Well, he likes to combine the two, which is really terrific. I mean, you see him working. I mean, he's totally happy. He'd stay in the studio all day long if he could.
There's a confessional quality in that.
There it goes again. There it goes again. I can't stand that.
Yeah.
I tell you, if it comes near me, I'll just run. I'll be out of camera shot.
Is he gone? Is he gone? Give me a warning if you
It's back there somewhere. I think it's more interested in the flowers.
I thought they weren't allowed in this neighborhood. The Bel Air Patrol would keep them out.
Well, they take the sting out of them. Right.
Well, when I was driving over, Hold Me came on the radio. And I was just thinking that it must be great when you hear it on the. Do you still get excited when you hear that on the radio?
Not so much now. I mean, I think when it first came out, when it was first released, we tend to look for it on the dial. But now I don't. We rehearse it so much and we hear it so much. I'll be happy when it's no longer around.
It seems that one thing you probably all share in common is a real dedication to your work and your art, which I guess it's...
Very much so. We love what we do. I mean, we genuinely take a great pride in it. I mean, I think whatever one does in life, one should always try and measure up to the best of your ability. Otherwise, there's really no point in doing it. As my dad used to say, if you can't do something well, don't do it. You know.
Hold Me seems to be a very interesting. My feelings on the new album, there's a few tracks that seem like really band tracks, and a lot of it seems very. So Stevie sounds like her with the band, and your songs, though, Hold Me, and all of them sound. It's like the fullest sound. I mean, it sounds like everyone is working and singing.
Well, everyone, in fact, was working on throughout this whole album, working very much on each other's songs. I mean, the Tusk album seemed to be more separate than that.
Really?
That's why people like to put things in pigeonholes, and for want of a better term, people will say, "Oh, Mirage is sort of like Rumours," but it's not at all, really. Only in the sense that we all were working on each other's material. A Stevie Nicks song obviously sounds like Stevie Nicks because she's singing on it. I mean, we wondered, in actual fact, what would happen if I were to write a song for Stevie to sing, she were to write a song for me to sing, and so on and so on. And if you'd be able to tell who wrote the song, by fact of the way the song's written, even if the person that wrote it isn't singing it.
But just having a hit, I mean, I was just, few people have had as many consistent top tracking songs, and I was wondering if you just get used to that fact, or is it still a thrill every time?
Oh yeah, of course it is. I mean, that's the reason we do it, is hopefully that people are going to like it. It's no good making something if you don't want it to be successful, So yeah, it's always a thrill.
Has the new album surprised you that it's taken off like it has?
It surprises the lack of time that it's taken. I mean, it seems to have just. I mean, it was only out for 2 weeks, and it was #1.
Really?
So yeah, we were surprised at how quickly it took off, but we were hoping that it would ultimately be a #1 album. But it's like its 4th week, I think, in the charts now. So.
That's one thing I found, and just about every time Rumours has ever discussed this as well. This is obviously the autobiographical. This is an accurate reflection of what was happening.
Rumours?
Yeah. Is that true, or is that just a critical?
Yeah, there's an element of truth in that. Yeah, because a lot of the songs on that album were directly pointed at certain situations that were going on within the band at the time. Go Your Own Way. It was obviously that's sort of self-explanatory. Don't Stop was a sort of a song reflection on my feelings about John. Oh Daddy was a song about Mick. They all had some. It was like a diary. That was the old musical soap opera syndrome.
Really? Do you like touring? You like
touring?
You still like going on the road? Is that an experience that you?
I love to. I really do like touring, and because we haven't been on the road for so long that everyone's intensely looking forward to this one, and the band is really getting on very well with each other at the moment, so I think we're going to have a lot of fun. And it's not too long, it's like just 5 weeks or something like that, so we're not going to get, you know, tired out and burnt out.
You were in the process of doing a new album of your own. Is that?
I'm trying to do this damned album for about 6 months now, but it looks like November is going to be definite.
Who's playing on it? Is it any?
No one that well, actually, Todd Sharp you might know. He used to be with Hall & Oates years and years ago, and he went to Ghana with Mick. You know, he was playing on the Visitor album. He's playing guitar, and a guy called Robin Sylvester, who I don't think he's actually from San Francisco, playing bass. And I haven't got a drummer yet. I'm still searching for the right drummer. I want someone that's like Mick, but I can't actually use Mick. I could, but it would be cheating then. It wouldn't be a solo album, you know.
There's almost a form of self-therapy in a way, if you describe it that way, where you sort of were singing to each other. It was.
No. I mean, I wouldn't even put it as strongly as that. Really, it was just something that came out of us at the time. It was how we were feeling, the things that we were going through. I don't think it was supposed to be therapeutic in any way at all. I think it was. You know, obviously it's an outlet for some emotion or other. You know, that's what creating something is about, really.
The echo, the counterpoint harmony vocals. So there's whole.
Yeah,
Is that Lindsay's putting that in, or where did that come from?
Well, that's me and Lindsay singing all the walls of harmonies that you're hearing. That's me and Lindsay singing in about 5 different parts, I think.
Wow.
There's one on one side, and one on the other, and then one on the other side.
Was there this first feeling when Lindsay and Stevie came in, just like, that's it, we've got it? Or was there still, you take some time and, like, midway through the sessions of the album, you sort of knew that, this may work out?
We sort of knew, I think, at the very upstart of it all.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it just felt right. When we finished making the first White album, we knew it was a great album. We knew it was going to be a hit album, too. And we knew that we were probably going to be really successful.
Do you feel there's a difference? I mean, we're all from Northern California, so I know Menlo, Atherton, and that whole area, and that's America. It's as aggressively American as you're going to find, and the rest of you are from England. I'm kind of curious about the chemistry between an American culture meets British blues culture.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm interested in that too, but I don't know what to say. You know, it's true. I mean, we both come from. Well, Stevie and Lindsay and John and Mick and myself come from totally opposite, ends of the world in different cultures, different musical upbringings. And, John and Mick are probably, I think, the hardest core rhythm section I've ever heard, which probably is a wonderful combination since they're basically a blues rhythm section, to meet together with a writer with my qualities and writers, such as Stevie and Lindsay. For some reason, it just the chemistry just gels. I really don't know how else to answer the question. Really, it's one of those wonderful, magical things which, I hope goes on for a long time.
That's one quality about your music, your contributions. It seems very emotional. Very. I can't quite find the appropriate word for it, but I always see Lindsay's work as very craftsman-like and very exuberant, and your work
experimental.
is more experimental
yeah.
And more. There's just there's a kind of tension within the material that works out. Am I on the beam on that, or is there more accurate? How would you kind of differentiate the personalities in the band?
Oh boy, that's a terrible question. You want me to? You mean musically or
musically,
as human beings?
But just sort of musically and how.
Boy, well. Gosh, that's a real toughie, because I think that you're on the right track with that. I mean, Stevie is the poet, she's a very prolific writer. I mean, not necessarily of music, but of words. She writes reams and reams of poetry. I mean, she's a beautiful poet. And she's slightly the mystical one, if you like. She fantasizes about sort of things a bit more than I do, I guess I'm sort of more down to earth. I am an absolute total romantic. insatiable romantic. But in a different way to Stevie, who is also a romantic. But like I say, she indulges in fantasies and creates a little world for herself, you know, which maybe doesn't really exist to the rest of us. But me, yeah, I would say that I'm definitely pretty, you know, my feet are firmly planted on the ground.
One thing I find interesting is when I play the Fleetwood Mac, the original kind of, I won't say group album, but that Incarnations album.
Yeah.
It's almost hard to play it now and compare to the new one, because the new one is just so much more depth and texture to it. The other one, as good as it is,
It's very simple. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is that we had only been together about 10 days before we even went in the studio. So, I mean, we were very young in terms of this particular group of people.
You've been together for 10 days when you went in to cut that record?
Yeah. We just did 10 days, and we weren't even rehearsing. You couldn't really call it rehearsals. You just sit around and get drunk, you know.
Did that?
But so obviously, I mean, like I say, it was early days then for the band. I mean, now we've been together for 7 years, which seems to be amazing to me that it's really that long. And we know each other really, really well musically now, and of course, we grow together musically. Lindsay and I work very well together in the studio, working out, you know, just little parts, musical parts. But then again, Lindsay's really, really self-sufficient, you know, on his own. He loves to piddle around on his own. So, you know, it's funny when we pick up musical instruments and to rehearse, you know, we're rehearsing at the moment for the tour. And you realise how well you must know one another musically. We just played everything like we'd never been off the road at all.
Did Hold Me start as what it wound up being, or did it go through a number of changes before it came out?
Kind
of curious when you first composed it.
Pretty much stayed the way it was when it was first written, actually, because I co-wrote it with a friend of mine, a guy called Robbie Patton, and of course he sings too, and so we did a duet with it, and you know, the actual melody line changed a little bit. But that was Lindsay's idea, and that worked out to be a very good one. But basically, I mean, it's pretty much the same. There's a couple of lines that I used in the original song that I'm not using in what ended up being the finished product. But that's because it was just too many words to sing. So
across the street, and George Peppard, all these movie stars. It's exciting.
George Peppard doesn't live anymore. He used to live down there. He used to have a dog called. Gosh, I can't even remember now, but it used to come up to this house. Is that a wasp,
no,
or is that a
fly? That was just a little bug, itty bitty one.
Oh God!
So you're an outdoorsy camping type.
Well, no, actually, as a matter of fact, I am. But it's those damn things that just really drive me crazy.
They love eggs. You ever notice with
eggs?
Soft-boiled eggs? There's some Yugoslavia ones. And there's some reason don't ever have soft-boiled eggs. So, we're rolling tape here.
Hi, this is Christy Mcvie from Fleetwood Mac, and you better get a good night's sleep tonight, because tomorrow night we're going to make some music worth staying awake for.
In the studio, when you sort of have the last word on the final arrangements of your songs, I'm kind of curious is it a democratic process? Or?
It's very democratic. In fact, I mean, I never go into the studio with a set pattern or a set idea of how I want my song to be, i.e., you know, say to Mick, I want you to play this particular drum pattern, I want John to play this bass line. It's pretty much, we don't really rehearse or have any set plans with any songs. When we go in the studio, we'll just run through the song and I'll just play the chords for everyone. And it's up to John what he plays, it's up to Mick what he plays, and then, because we fall into a pattern pretty well with each other after all these years, well, obviously, you know. I know Mick's limitations, he knows mine, etc., etc. And I wouldn't expect any sort of fancy, feathery, foldy-roll stuff from Mick anyway. He's a basic, simple drummer, and he's great for that. So I pretty much know what I'm going to get from Mick with a certain type of song, and I pretty much know what to expect from John, you know. Lindsay's the adventurous one, like I say. He'll come up with all kinds of different ideas, and we work very well, like I say, with those ideas, and we experiment. And Lindsay loves to play on other people's songs too. I mean, he loves to play with my songs, for example. He'll spend all afternoon, you know, like, or you know, saying just one afternoon maybe, playing with all different types of guitar sounds, and I mean, I let him do that. I love to watch, you know. I love to watch.
Does he come in with his songs? I would assume he pretty much knows. I mean, is the same thing work on him? You would say. Well,
I mean, he doesn't really have any idea. Normally, he'll work on a song with absolutely no lyrics. I mean, he'll build a song up to the point saying, Lindsay, you can't possibly put anything else on this track until you sing it, you know. And he tries to put off the singing till the last minute. Procrastinates, prevaricates, whatever the word is.
Yeah, that's true. As a singer, I think
he's more of a he doesn't enjoy the singing as much as he enjoys the building up of the tracks so much, I think. I mean, he literally would be happy just writing instrumentals, I think.
Do you think the solo albums were a good thing for? Is that healthy for the band? It was easier to work together after getting that out of your system.
Very much so, because you know when you consider that there are 3 writers in the band, it doesn't allow you much outlet for your own material. If you only make as few albums as we do, it takes so long to make as well. So that works out to about 3 or 4 songs every 3 years, and that's just really not enough for any writer that wants to, you know, display their wares, so to speak. And it was frustrating Lindsay and Stevie. Not so much me, because I don't write so prolifically. I write for a project more than just that, you know, I get overwhelmed with inspiration. I don't really work so much quite like that. But, you know, that was apparent in the Tusk album, really. You could hear Lindsay sort of veering away from the band in the fact that he did about 4 or 5 tracks in his own house.
Really?
Playing the drums himself, playing the bass himself. In fact, nobody else in Fleetwood Mac was actually on some of those songs at all. And you could hear that. It was like the need was there for the solo albums, and of course it was very healthy, because everybody instantly thought Fleetwood Mac are breaking up. But I mean, everyone always thinks Fleetwood Mac's breaking up, except Fleetwood Mac, probably. I mean, we know something they don't know. But that's the fun of it. I mean, we're not breaking up, and in fact we're probably tighter now than we've ever been because of those solo projects. It's really healthy. I mean, everyone, you know, we can't glue each other to each other, and you know, it's not good for the musical growth of the individual.
I'm kind of curious. Tusk is, I have to say, one of my favorite albums, and I think
it's one of mine too.
Everybody I've talked to, or I think really fans of the band, say that's their #1 album. Yet it never seemed to have the critics, the audience, never seemed to. I can't figure it out. Why? It's too good.
Well, maybe it was released before its time. I think it was a little ahead of its time. maybe if it was released now, it would probably have much more acclaim than it had. Say, when was it? 3 years ago it was released?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
And plus it was a little, you know, it wasn't exactly what people expected from Fleetwood Mac after the Rumours album. I don't know what whatever we'd done at that point, I think we would have been, as a bee. I can't stand bees.
I'm allergic, I guess.
Well, I'm not allergic to them. I just don't like them stinging me. So yeah, I don't think it would have mattered. We would have still been. There would have been some condemnation from everyone. I think if we'd released another album, say that was similar to Rumours, we would have been accused of jumping on the bandwagon. And and Tusk there was an element of humour in that as well. I mean, the actual song Tusk, that was the first single that I believe that we released off the album. And I think people just took it a bit too seriously, really. I mean, it was just supposed to be a fun thing that we did, you know, tongue-in-cheek, really.
People tend, I think, to read a lot of things into songs. I know that
This is very true, that the writer had no... Well, the thing is, it's like a painting, really. I mean, it's up for public... it's no longer personal once you've given it to the public, and therefore, like I say, it's a bit like a painting in a way. You read whatever you want to into someone's painting, even if the painter didn't really mean it to be that. That's what's the beauty of you know, self-expression, really. Good morning, this is Christine Mcvie from Fleetwood Mac. We'll be seeing you a bit later on this evening, but your day will be made even better if you listen to the following announcements.
How have you been able to keep it together for so long? I mean, it just seems that everything, in some ways, if it wasn't enough that there were personal relationships splintering, then you had a mega success to deal with. And if that doesn't destroy you, then, you know, something else would. I mean, but yet, 7 years later, it's still...
I know, it's a pretty rare quality, really. I mean, I think it's only, you know, the Rolling Stones have managed to survive all kinds of situations, bad and good, and even more success than us, you know. I don't know, I think it must be a chemical thing. It must be, plus the fact that we just genuinely like each other, we genuinely enjoy playing together, and we have I guess it must be a mutual respect and all those kind of corny things, and chemistry. You know, I can't imagine what else it would be. I mean, we obviously like each other, otherwise we wouldn't be playing together. And it isn't for money.